give the degree, number of turning points, and intercepts for the following. Now we see here that we're not given the actual function or the equation of the polynomial, right? That'll actually be pretty beneficial. Here we're just given the graph, okay? So let's take a look. What are the characteristics of this graph that we see? Now the intercepts are going to be the easiest, right? The intercepts are where the graph crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. Now we're just going to sort of eyeball these, okay? So let's say the y-intercept is at 0, like 2.1. Okay, that's about 2.1 there. Okay, and for this x-intercept, we'll call that like 1.4. Okay? And for that x-intercept, we'll call that like 2.9 something. Okay, so we're just going to eyeball these, right? Just getting a general idea of where the x-intercepts are at. Okay, but what about the degree and the turning points? Okay, I should say maximum number of turning points. Okay, so the idea is that they are related together. Okay, so the first thing we notice is that this is a U shape. Okay, it's a U shape and it opens up. Okay, let's think about what that means. If it's a U shape, we know that the degree or the leading term is even. If it opens up, we know that the leading term is positive. Okay. So that's what we determine just from the graph, right? Just by the end behavior, just the way that it looks. Okay, now what are the turning points, right? The turning points are where a local max or min occurs, right? Or where it changes from increasing to decreasing, or vice versa, decreasing to increasing. Let's take a look. As you take your pen or pencil or your finger and you go, we'll just follow the graph here, right? Okay, well, there's a local minimum, right? Here we turn, right? We turn or we go from decreasing to increasing. So there's one turning point, there's two turning points, and then we see that there are three turning points here, right? So there are three turning points. Well, what's the relationship between the turning points and the degree? It turns out that the maximum number of turning points is always going to be one less than the degree. Okay. So if we take a look at this, okay, I know that my degree is even, and I know that I have three turning points here. So what can we determine about the degree then? Right? Well, then we can determine that the degree of this polynomial is probably going to be 4. Okay? Because there's three turning points, and we know that this is going to be an even polynomial. So everything should actually tie in together.